What's up, guys? Welcome back to UnOrdinary Weekly Reaction. Thank you to FastPass. Last week, last week. So, the week before, Blyke pieced it together that it was John who was Joker. And then last episode, he told Remy and Ison about it. Unbeknownst to them, Ison, clearly we know that Ison had already known for a while, and Blyke finally pieced it together. And so, wait a minute. And so, Remy had found out as well, and she found out that Arlo knew as well, and so she confronted Arlo, and she told him, "I'm not giving up just because you have. Like, I'm gonna find a way to beat him," and we'll talk about that in a second. Then, at the end of it all, Arlo discovered. I'll put that in quotations. Joker's weakness, Sarah. So who knows if he's gonna like threaten to tell Sarah, or if he's gonna like abduct her, hold her captive, basically like not necessarily to like torture her or anything, but like to use her as leverage against John. Anything can happen. But what I want to talk about real quick, a few of you last week had commented you're pretty sick of Remy. And at first, I was just like, well, no, I still like Remy. Like, I think she's a very cool character still. But you all brought up some very good points as to why she's kind of a bitch. Looking back at everything that's been going on with Remy, none of it stems back from her caring about other people. When she became a vigilante, when she took on the title X-Ray, she didn't do it as a means to help people. She didn't do it because she agreed with what Ray was doing, or she didn't agree with UnOrdinary because she hasn't read UnOrdinary. She did it completely in revenge, completely like to get rid of Ember for what they did to her brother, to Ray. And then when she first encountered John, she didn't do it because she felt sorry for him, because she thought low tier shouldn't be treated like that. She did it because John is Sarah's friend, and she even refers to him as that as Sarah's friend. And then what really sets everything, and then also she doesn't care anything about any low tiers. We have never seen her interact with any low tiers, not the way Blyke has, or others, or even Sarah. She just doesn't do anything for them. The only person we really saw her be friendly to, other than our main cast, was Abel. She knew Abel, and she knew that he was hurt and everything. But everything else, like everyone else, like she's really done nothing for them. And then came the biggest part, which I, like, after realizing it last chapter, really agreed with you guys. She completely brushed past everything else Ison said last chapter. Like, they asked, why was John doing this? Like, why was John torturing all the students? And Ison said, well, Arlo goaded at him. Then Sarah started getting bullied, and then she got abducted and kidnapped. And the only thing that Remy took away from that, it wasn't, oh, John's doing this because of how the school has been treating Sarah. Oh, John is doing this because of this, or this is happening because of this. She only took it that Arlo knew about John's ability and didn't tell her. Literally brushed past everything else, which is somewhat valid, but not completely reasoned as to why John was finally taking action. And she only focused on beating John, and not that this whole thing does stem from Arlo. So, that's just one real quick thing. You guys who pointed that out, very fair analysis. I do still like Remy. Like, after reading that, I'm kind of like, oh, well, yeah, Remy, maybe you are kind of a bitch. But that's it for the quick recap. Let's get right in. And the thumbnail for episode 147 is Sarah. Arlo, you son of a bitch! Alright, so we're in the cafeteria. Chatter, chatter, chatter. And it's Sarah eating a hamburger. And then, Hey, Serafina, it's Evie! but there's someone with her. Terrence is with Evie right now. We all know Terrence, Invisibility Boy, probably wants John to take over as king. Like, he's probably a fan of John because John saved Terrence from Gavin at the very beginning of the series. John discovered that it was, or no, Terrence discovered that it was John who defeated Arlo, and he was like, we need to get rid of Arlo, let's induct our Shadow King, John. And Evie just goes, this is my friend, Terrence. And he's got a nervous sweat. Mind if he sits with us? No, go ahead. Thanks. UnOrdinary episode 147. And so Evie and Terrence are just kind of like at the table. So Terrence, how was your club meeting? It was alright. Ever since Cecile left, though, it hasn't really been the same. Cecile was protecting him because of all his top stories. Juicy. Really? Yeah, I've heard some members complaining about it earlier. Eisen is really conservative with his article choices. Since he took over, the school paper's gotten really bland because he has to report to Arlo. He makes it seem as if nothing is happening around school, even though we all know something clearly is. But who knows what he's thinking? Maybe he's just got higher standards. And then Sarah's just like, ... He was our best writer before. And then it's I'm pretty sure his name is Roland. Hey guys, got room for one more? Roland! And yes, that is his name. It's two. Thanks, Sarah. And she scoots over for him. Thanks, Serafina. You know, I was actually wondering, why hasn't the paper mentioned anything about Joker yet? And Sarah's just like, Joker? Again? The same guy who took down Cecile, Black, and Eisen. Evie, you read the paper often? Oh, yeah, we all do. It's the best way to keep up with what's going on around here, since most rumors are unreliable, and some of the articles are actually quite good and fun to read. Oh? Honestly, everyone in the press has been asking the same question. Believe me, a handful of us have already written articles about Joker, but they keep getting ignored. I speculate Eisen's purposefully trying to keep him out of the papers. I wonder why. And Roland's just like, I don't know, but sounds pretty shady to me. Them not acknowledging it makes me even more nervous. Is he really that bad? He's just climbing the ladder, isn't he? Sarah is just, she's just like, he's just climbing the ladder. That's it. Depends on his motives. Sure, he might be working his way up the ranks now, but no guarantees it'll stay that way. What if he deviates and starts attacking random students instead? He did attack Junie. He did attack her. No one knows who he is, so no one knows who to avoid. And you haven't seen the way he treats his opponents, have you? Like he'll have already won the fight, but then he'll stab the person 5 more times for good measure. Alright, stop it, Roland. Way to ruin my appetite. You didn't have to bring that up. And then they're just kind of sunken. Sorry guys, I've been pretty paranoid lately. I wish Arlo and Remy would just do something about him soon. And then Sarah's just like, And then, oh, it's Sarah meeting up with John and they're on a walk. Hey John, you've heard of Joker, right? Well, and then she's stretching. Well, and they're both going on a run. So Sarah's just like stretching. And John's just like, well, yeah, I don't live under a rock. Are you concerned about him at all? Should I be? He's climbing the ranks. He's got nothing to do with me. Yeah, that's true. Why? You're not scared of him, are you? My friends are. Not sure how I feel about it, though. They're worried Joker will start attacking people randomly. Kind of weird thing to worry about. I think your friends need to relax. You're pretty calm about this. Well, yeah, because if you think about it, adding a Joker to the mix doesn't change anything. What do you mean? He's ruthless and nobody's seen his face. I think they have a right to be afraid. Okay, sure, but whatever Joker does isn't anything new. Not for us, anyway. We've all been publicly beaten before. We've been sent to the infirmary countless times, and we don't always know who our attackers are. It sucks, but he's just doing what everyone else has been doing. Like I said, John's just been doing the exact same thing as everyone else. Only difference is, they don't know it's him, and he's just that much more stronger than them. And Sarah's just like, ... Sigh. I guess that's one way to look at it. And then she just taps him on the back. If only everyone were as brave as you. Evie, Roland, and Terrence have been stepped on a lot. That's why they're always so timid. You're such an outlier. Even now, you still don't understand how you managed to brush... Even now, I still don't know how you managed... I still don't understand how you managed to brush things off so easily. ... There's no point in overthinking, because the situation can only get so bad. It's not like I have much to lose, so why not try to look on the bright side? And she's just like, You know, Sarah, I'm low-key rooting for Joker. I wouldn't mind seeing Arlo get his ass beaten. Actually, yeah, now that you mention it, that does sound pretty satisfying. Right? But for Joker and Arlo to fight, he has to get to Remy first. I can't help but be a little worried for her. I hope she can handle him. Remy is still Sarah's friend. Like he's still her they're still friends. And she is the next target. And then John just like looking down a little bit. Alright, let's get going. 5 miles, right? Come on, keep up, slowpoke. And then John just looks ahead. ... And then it's Serafina, and Arlo shows up. Serafina, do you have a minute? Nope. And she turns right away. And then he just goes, Hey, wait, this is important. Arlo, I don't know what you're trying to pull, but it's not funny. I already told you a long time ago. I don't want anything to do with you or the Royals. There's nothing I can do to help, especially now that I'm powerless. Please, just leave me alone. She turns around. John is Joker! John is Joker. And she just stops for a moment. I need you to talk to him. Arlo. Oh, she is pissed. Don't you dare drag John into this. UnOrdinary episode 147. End. Very short one. It was a talking chapter, but it was a good one. I think Sarah knows. I think she knows very well. There have been a few moments in the series where Sarah has gotten weirded out by John's actions. I'm pretty sure that Sarah knows, and I'm pretty sure she's just like, he's just climbing the ranks. He's just doing what he's just doing what everyone else does, and I'm happy for that. But maybe she doesn't know. There's also a very high possibility that she does not know, and she just still thinks that that John is a cripple. But personally, I think Sarah does know, and I think she's just like, I think she's just standing by him. I really hope that's the case. But pretty soon Sarah will get her ability back. I know. I can't wait for that fight. How much longer until Remy versus John, though? The Queen versus the Joker. Alright. That was good. That was definitely good. Oh man. That last shot of Sarah was really good. Like, she just looked super pissed. And yeah, Arlo was just, he wasn't gonna abduct Sarah. He was just gonna tell her like, "Yo, he's Joker. Like, listen, talk to him." And I honestly do hope Sarah knows. She's like, "Of course I've known. Like, I've known forever that John's had an ability." However, he still, like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When John doesn't have an ability, he is always at 1 or 1.2, I believe. He's always incredibly low. Like he said, he's basically a cripple when he doesn't activate his ability. Arlo is always a high tier because normal attacks don't do anything to him. He completely brushes them off. John is always a cripple. And for the entire time he's been at Wellston up until meeting Arlo, he survived. With Sarah, of course, but even without her, like, from time to time. John survived as a cripple. Like, he would win. He would not win fights, but he would get himself out of situations as a cripple. He didn't need his ability. He didn't win, but he would always manage to find a way out as a cripple. And so, part of what John has done is true. Most of it is a lie. He's definitely lied about not having an ability. That could definitely be a very key point to, like, damaging the relationship between him and Sarah. But I firmly believe that Sarah knows. And I love that Sarah somewhat agrees with Joker. Because everyone else was just like, he's terrifying. And she's just like, he's just climbing the ranks, guys. And then when her and John were talking about it, John was like, he's just doing what everyone else does. No one cares. And she was like, oh yeah, that's a fair point. And then he was like, plus, I'd love to see Arlo get his ass handed to him. And she was like, yeah, that would be sweet. So yeah, I think Sarah knows. Maybe if she sees how he brutalizes Remy. Is that her name? Her name's Remy, right? I'm like 90% sure her name is Remy. Maybe she'll like be like, that wasn't cool. Like, you need to chill. But against Arlo, Sarah does not like Arlo. She has nothing but contempt for Arlo and hatred. And maybe she'll be rooting for Joker. I hope she is rooting for Joker. But yeah, it was a short one, but it was a good one. I don't mind these talking chapters. Uru is very good when it comes to writing out the talking chapters, like just the dialogues. Not every chapter is going to be action. That's fine. But I wouldn't mind if next week is action. If next week is Remy versus Joker, I would not mind that, Uru. But that's going to be it. I will see you guys back here next week for another reaction to UnOrdinary with FastPass. Question of the day, do you guys think that Seraphina knows? Let me know down in the comments. As always, we have the Discord that is down in the description box, and also follow me on Twitter. Check out my food tweets. Anyway, that'll be it for this week, guys. See you then.